Now we're going to have the Boy Scout troop from Millington present us with the flag and lead us in the pledge. David, if you'd like to bring your troop up. And David Kaiser's been kind enough to bring them out today. He's going to say a few words about what the troops do for our country.
Go Scouts!
A lot of people out there. When most people hear about Boy Scouts, they normally think of campouts and Eagle Scouts. And although campouts are important and Eagle Scout is a destination, that's not the purpose of scouting. The purpose of scouting is best illustrated through a story about two boys, one named Mike and one named Jim. Mike and Jim both grew up in Midwest cities very similar to each other, and they were interested in scouting. So they attended a meeting. They liked it. They attended more meetings. However, Mike didn't reach the encouragement of his family, and his friends started mocking him for going into scouting. And so a couple more meetings went by, and he succumbed to their pressure and quit scouting. Jim, on the other hand, continued in scouting. His is a little bit different. He did have other pressures. His father suddenly died in a car accident. His friends also taunted him a little bit, but he stuck out with scouting. And as he's in scouting on a trail to Eagle, he learned various character traits through various things such as living to the scout oath and the scout law. He knows he has to be held accountable to that. And sure, he makes mistakes, as all boys do, and they don't always reach that pinnacle. But that oath and law has never changed, and it's read at every meeting. The other way he learned another character trait was through leadership. On his journey to that trail to Eagle, he has learned that he had to have leadership positions, starting out with a simple leadership position such as this troop scribe. And then as he gained experience, he became a patrol leader. Now he's in charge of the well-being of about 8 to 10 boys. And ultimately he reaches the senior patrol leader, and now he's in charge of the entire troop. Could be 20 to 50 boys. Along the way, he's given training through troop training, council level training, and national training. Did he make mistakes along the way? You bet he did. All the boys do. But they learn from those experiences. It makes them stronger, and they do have successes in there too, and that's what makes them stronger. And then finally, the other attribute of that character that they're going to build is citizenship. And citizenship, as they go through each rank, they're required to serve their community. And they immediately realize that citizenship is not about entitlement, it's about responsibility. You see, part of that citizenship is that they have to go out and serve the community. They can't serve themselves, they can't benefit themselves, they can't benefit the family, they can't even benefit our troop or the Boy Scouts. It legitimately has to benefit the community as a whole. In fact, by the time he reaches Eagle Scout, he has either participated or organized over several hundred hours of community service. Well, what happened to Mike? Well, Mike, after he left scouting, those same friends that taunted him got him into alcohol, which led to drugs, which led to crime. Now, I've never met Jim, but in a moment, most of you probably heard of Jim. And most of you, if not nobody here, knows Mike, but I personally met Mike. In fact, our troop 2 years ago was doing a community service project serving the homeless to the Memphis Union Mission. And one of the homeless men came up afterwards to me and the boys. And he came up and reached out his hand. He says, "Thank you for your service." That was Mike. And Mike told that story to the boys. He said, "Guys, don't quit scouting. In the few days I was with scouting, I regretted quitting. And if I didn't quit, I would not be here today." So what happened to Jim? Jim made Eagle Scout. He then went off to the Naval Academy. Flew fighter aircraft in the United States Navy, became a test pilot. He then went on to be an astronaut. And we all know him as Jim Lovell, the Apollo 13 commander. And if you're not familiar with Apollo 13, on their way to the moon, he had a disaster, such that they didn't think the crew was going to survive and make it back to Earth. However, through Jim's leadership and decision-making, he made them successfully come back to Earth, and they were all saved. Immediately after that, he was interviewed, and he was asked, "What happened up there? What helped you get through it?" And he said the leadership experiences he gained as a Boy Scout laid the foundation to help deal with that serious situation. So there you have it. You have two boys who came to a fork in the road about the same time in life as young boys. And both of them realized that fork was scouting. One stuck with it, and one didn't. One turned into a success story, the other one was tragic. Though we may look at Mike's story as being tragic, it actually is inspirational. Because he came up to me and he gave me a real reason what scouting was about. And he left a testimony to these boys that, hey, the choices you make in life have consequences. You know, we look today, the answers to our nation do not reside in a political party. Our nation today, the answers to our problems reside in the character building of our youth. That's what scouting means to me. At this time, I'd like to turn the presentation of the posting of the colors over to Troop 45's Senior Patrol Leader.
Would everyone please stand for the posting of the colors? For the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the National Anthem. If you are not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. If you are in uniform, please render a salute. Hand salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
I'd like to introduce Megan Chang. She will be singing our national anthem, and she's asked that we sing along with her.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare held us bursting in air, gave proof in the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Color guard, retreat.